النكاح من سنتي ما قال النبي هو الصحيح نكاح مبارك نكاح مبارك زواج مبارك النكاح من سنتي ما قال النبي هو الصحيح نكاح مبارك
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome again, brothers and sisters, to another episode in this series, Marriage and Divorce, where I shall be talking to our Sheikh Haitham Al Haddad about the series and topic, Marriage and Divorce. Sheikh Haitham Al Haddad is currently residing in the UK and is a member of the board on the Islamic Sharia Council of Britain. He's also the founding member of the website www.islam21c.com. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We ended the last episode talking about the format of acceptance when it comes to the nikah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I think I want to again stress more on that the sigha or the format is not the key issue. The key issue is both parties understand that this is an Islamic marriage. And after this moment of the contract, this man is the husband of this lady. So if this man goes and knocked by a car, yeah, qadar, he died. So this wife, yeah, will inherit him, okay? And moreover, she must observe a iddah of 4 أشهر و10 as Allah Jalla wa Ala says. والذين يتوفون منكم ويذرون أزواجا يتربصن بأنفسهن 4 أشهر و10 in Surah Al-Baqarah. Those who die, yeah, their wives should wait for a iddah of what? Of 4 months and 10 days. And also it was mentioned in the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ that the Prophet ﷺ instructed them to wait for 4 months and 10 days.
A quick question on this. We don't want to get too much into the fiqh side of it, but the question I had, 4 months and 10 days, is that 4 cycles and 10 days or 4 months?
No, 4 months.
So it is 4 months.
The iddah for wafa, as we will see, 4 months and 10 days. It is different from the iddah after divorce. So the point is, take the matter seriously. Yeah? And as I told you, I had a number of cases where people don't know whether they are married or not. And by the way, there are a number of cases where they think that the khitbah is a halal stage. So they go, they touch each other, maybe they have some kind of intimacy, they kiss, etc. And then they say, well, there is no nasib, there is no, Allah doesn't want this marriage to carry on. Khalas, we depart from each other. What is this? Okay? It means that we are claiming that we are Muslims, but we are not following the Islamic rules and the Islamic practices. So this is the key issue. After this meeting, the man is here, the wife is here, and her wali. What is this? Is it a marriage? Yeah? Or is it a khutbah? And please, I always say to the imams and the shuyukh, you need to explain the difference to people.
Yes, yes.
You are an imam going to do what? You should say, what am I doing? What am I doing? Am I conducting a nikah, or am I just coming for blessings, as they say? Yeah, it is a responsibility. And if the imam feels that they are confused, he should make it clear that, okay, this man is the husband of this lady. This is not his makhtuba, because in many cultures, they avoid using his wife, yeah, for their daughter as far as she is in their house.
Until the wedding ceremony, and then they move in together.
Yes. They don't call her his wife. Okay, now maybe there is an agreement between the husband and the wali that she will not give him all his rights. This is something else. And okay, now I remembered a serious situation. It happened, okay? It happened, it is an ongoing case, in fact. And that's why I'm stressing on this point. A brother I know, okay? I know this brother. He was living in a country, okay, without mentioning that country and the details. This brother, he left to his hometown. And there he found a suitable person, yeah, to marry his daughter. They agreed, yeah, they agreed to get married. So he promised him to get married. Then he went back, yeah, to the second country or to the other country. Then they were discussing this issue. Then the father, who is my friend, he said to the man, instead of me traveling and you can't travel, he said, let us do the marriage over Skype. So they were on Skype, and he said, the father said, I am so and so, marrying so and so to this brother, and they wrote something by their handwriting. Okay? And they announced it to some relatives. Later on, this brother, for whatever reason, had a problem with his son-in-law or with this man marrying his daughter. This brother, he said it was not a marriage. So, khalas, leave. This is my daughter, I want to wed her to someone else. The husband, he was shocked. No, no, uncle, she's my wife. He said, what? What are you talking about? She's not your wife. That was just engagement. He said, no, it was a marriage. Believe me, Brother Daniel, and for the audience, and maybe this brother is listening to me now, they stayed, okay, discussing and arguing over this issue, whether it was a marriage or it was an engagement for almost 4 years.
Oh.
And during that time, the daughter became attached to the man, and she doesn't want to leave him. And he said, my father gave me as a wife according to Quran and Sunnah to this man. Yeah? And we were meeting over Skype, and my father knew, and something happened between us over Skype, maybe, okay, whatever. She said I was halal for him, he's my husband, and the father went furious. And as a result of this, I'm telling the audience now to be careful about this issue. As the result of this, this man had problem with the rest of his family, and I can say it, that he divorced his wife because of the case that happened between his daughter and her proposed or her husband.
Big knock-on effect.
Huge. Why? Because he said that it was not a marriage, and I did not like the man, and the man said it was a marriage. Now see, because he was living in another country, etc., they did not go to an Islamic court, yeah, to finalize or to write the nikah contract. And that's why I always say to parents, if you don't know how to do it, don't do it. Mm-hmm. And I say to some imams, if you are not qualified to do the nikah contract, yeah, don't do it. Don't get into this, because the consequences are grave.
While we're talking about Skype, obviously now technology has come into our lives and it is prevalent everywhere. You mentioned also writing the contract while over Skype.
Yeah.
What makes this acceptable and what makes something invalid?
We said when we discuss ijab and qabul, or offer and acceptance, or the format, yeah, of the nikah, we said we need to discuss it from two angles. The format, yeah, the format, and who is qualified or who is eligible to carry the format. Yeah? So now your question is related to the first part, which is the format.
Yes.
Okay? Not who is eligible to do it. But your question is also related to another part of the conditions of marriage, which is what? Which is the witnesses. Okay? The witnesses. Why? Because when we are talking about witnesses, witnessing the ijab and the qabul, yeah, this man is saying I want to marry her, or I am marrying her, and this lady saying I am accepting, yeah, the witnesses, what did they witness? This is a matter of discussion when it comes to Skype or technology or whatever. However, if the format was given by, was verbal format, it is valid, as we said. It was given in Arabic, it is valid. It was given in English, it is valid. It was given in writing, it is still valid. It was given in texting, okay? See, in texting and these things, technically speaking, texting is a way of expressing your will.
Yeah, I mean, you've thought about it, you've written it down, and you've sent it.
Yes. But the issue is, how do we confirm that the witnesses witnessed you writing, witnessed her writing, witnessed that there was a meeting, and you saw her, she saw you, or the wali was there, the wali offered this, and you accepted this from the wali. This is the problem. I hope that it is clear. Why? Because some people say writing is one way to express your will. And Allah Jalla wa Ala says, إِذَا تَدَيَنْتُمْ بِدَيْنٍ إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ مُسَمًّى فَاكْتُبُوهُ. So kitaba, writing, takes the best or the highest form of expressing your will. As you said, okay, you thought about it, you wrote it, it means it was not just a word that was uttered by your tongue.
You've been through a process.
It was through a process, okay? So that is true. Like in the issue, okay, the main issue is, does this happen in front of the witnesses or not? Okay? And we will discuss this, inshallah, when we come to the issue of witnesses.
Brothers and sisters, we'll take a quick break, but please return and join us for the continuation of this discussion. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
نكاح مبارك نكاح مبارك.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, welcome back to this great important discussion, this very interesting discussion with our Shaykh Haitham Al Haddad. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
We were talking about the witnesses, but also these days the issue of technology.
Yep.
Is there anything else, any other experiences possibly you've come across?
I think these are the main issues, okay? The main issues. As I said, regarding technology, the issue is witnesses. How do witnesses attend the meeting whereby there is an offer and there is acceptance, yeah? Or in other words, acceptance from both parties, yeah? Acceptance from both parties. And so the witness is witnessing this, and the wali, the presence of wali, etc. Now, as a result of this, I mean, it is very difficult now to confirm or to have a meeting, a virtual meeting, where the witnesses, yeah, witnessing all of this happening simultaneously. Yeah.
And also, as you explained, everyone has to be understanding that they're on the same page, and this is marriage.
Yes, yes. They have to speak the same wave or the same language, that this is marriage, Islamic marriage. Yeah.
My next question is to do with, for example, someone who is not mentally 100% in terms of their understanding. So I don't want to say insane, but on that level.
Who is going to speak on behalf of the insane person? Again, we are discussing the sigha, the format, and the discussion related to who is qualified to do the sigha, to the format, to express the acceptance and the offer or the acceptance from both parties. This is another discussion. For that discussion, we need to discuss the issue of wali, the issue of age, yeah, the issue of sanity as well. Okay, is the person sane or not sane? Three main issues need to be discussed. I prefer that we, before we discuss this, yeah, we discuss the issue of witnesses, because it is quicker. Yeah, the issue of witnesses, because the issue of who is eligible to express the will of marriage, yeah, takes time, because it includes the discussion related to the wali.
Inshallah, no problem. In that case, we'll move on to witnesses.
Yep, yep.
Witnesses, how many are needed and who is eligible to be witnesses?
See, the issue of witnesses in general, witnesses are one of the conditions for a valid marriage. Okay, let us put it the other way. If there is a marriage, hypothetically speaking, in fact, not hypothetically speaking, we see this commonly practiced in the West, secret marriages. Yeah? A brother getting married to a sister. No one knows. Imagine, it is very common, in fact, in the West. Yeah? Or my experience with non-Muslim countries is in the West. And unfortunately, because the West does not give provision for Muslims to organize their affairs, their personal affairs, in an official way. The non-Muslim African countries, they have avenues for Muslims to organize themselves. Same thing in India. In India, Muslims are organizing themselves in terms of Islamic personal law, yeah, officially.
Yes.
But it is the West. The West have a problem with anything to do with Islam. Yeah, they don't say this. They say that we have no problem with Islam, but we have a problem with extremists. But it tends to be that every single Muslim is an extremist.
Which is quite insulting.
Yeah, every single Muslim who practices Islam. They want Muslims who claim that they are Muslims, but they don't practice anything from Islam. And they are not proud even to be Muslims. They are not proud of following Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They are not proud to follow Allah and to follow the Quran. They are not proud that Islam is the truth. Yeah? They don't want this kind of Muslim, which means that they are Muslim by names. Maybe they are not even Muslim, but they inherited a Muslim name. Anyway, because of this, there are many cases of secret marriages. What are those secret marriages? A brother getting married to a sister. No one knows about this marriage except him and her. In some African countries, it is known as Zawaj Urfi. In Egypt, it is known as Zawaj Urfi. Yeah? Zawaj Urfi means it is not registered with the authorities. There, the authorities are Islamic in general. Yeah? I'm not talking about that they are the best. I'm talking about the court in terms of personal law is, generally speaking, an Islamic one. So, these secret marriages, are they valid or invalid? Now, they take number of forms. There are secret marriages that have been done with the permission of the wali. Yeah? And there were 2 or 3 witnesses, but they are keeping it secret.
So it's not announced?
It is not announced. It is not publicly announced. But there are secret marriages. Subhanallah, I came across so many. A brother meeting a sister, she's happy, he is happy. They bring an imam, or in many cases, they don't bring an imam. Khalas, I got married to you, sister. And they start consummate, as they say, the marriage, and they start sleeping together, and that's it. Yeah? When we come to the issue of wali, I will mention horrible stories. Horrible stories, not for fun, but they will give us examples of major mistakes, major common mistakes.
And practical ones that actually do
and
happen.
Practical ones, and how can they be solved. So when we discuss the issue of witnesses, generally speaking, all the 4 schools agree that witnesses are required. Okay? However, the Maliki school of thought, they said that the witnesses should not necessarily, or it is not a must that they attend the meeting of where the marriage took place. Yeah? It is not a must. If they attend, that is good. But if they did not attend, that is okay. Provided that it was announced and it was accepted. So, person A married to person B. Her wali was there, and the mahr was there. The acceptance from the 3 parties were there: the husband, the wife, and the wali. And then later on they said, oh, people, by the way, so-and-so got married to so-and-so. Or they said, so-and-so is the husband of so-and-so. So they consider this as, or stands for witnesses. Yeah? public awareness or public acceptance.
So in this case, the witnesses would not be specific people. It's a general...
General, yeah? So they said this is acceptable, yeah? Now, see, whether we go for the Maliki opinion or for the Jumhur opinion, okay? The key issue is it is not a secret marriage between two persons, yeah? Now, why the Malikis said this? They said that, first of all, why the Jumhur? All the scholars, the three schools, the Hanafis, the Shafi'is, and the Hanbalis. Why do they say that we have to have witnesses? Because they say that the Prophet ﷺ in Hadith Aisha and in Hadith Uqba, yeah, in fact, in a few hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said there is no nikah except with the wali and two witnesses, yeah, explicitly like this. There is no nikah except with the wali and witnesses. Now, the Malikis said that this hadith or these hadith are weak, yeah. At-Tirmidhi, one of the scholars who narrated the hadith of Aisha, la nikaha illa biwali, there is no nikah except with the wali and shahiday, and two witnesses. He said, وَالْعَمَلُ عَلَى هَذَا عِنْدَ أَهْلِ الْعِلْمِ. And the practice of the people of knowledge is this. There is no nikah except with the wali. So, in other words, even if we say that the hadith is weak, but this is the custom that was practiced during the time of the Prophet ﷺ and during the time of the best generations.
Yes.
The first generation, second generation, and the third generation. And it is the custom that has been endorsed by the vast majority of scholars. They consider it as a marriage when there are witnesses, okay? If there are no witnesses, they start doubting it.
Because then, from their point of view, one of the conditions was not met.
No, you see, because the Malikis might say that, listen, we don't consider it as a condition. Mm-hmm. Okay, you don't consider it as a condition, but what is condition from your point of view is what? Public awareness. That people know or came to know that so-and-so is married to so-and-so. This is enough for them.
So, Sheikh, is there anything that we can add for the last minutes of this about the witnesses?
Well, I think the issue of technology, yeah, and marrying over Skype, I think this is a serious issue that needs to be explained because it is a very common scenario in the West. And many scholars fall into it. Mm. And we have some horrible stories regarding the witnesses, yeah? I think we need maybe to have maybe one complete episode to discuss contemporary methods or tools to communicate and how can we carry valid marriages using technology, yes, or using telecommunication.
Okay, inshallah. So maybe we'll come back and continue the discussion on witnesses and also including the technology side of it.
Inshallah. Yes.
Brothers and sisters, thank you for joining us in this discussion. Please come back next time where we shall continue this interesting discussion on witnesses and specifically, possibly, we'll highlight the issue of technology. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
نكاح مبارك مبارك زواج مبارك مبارك النكاح من سنتي ما قال النبي هو الصحيح نكاح مبارك مبارك There is joy, there is happiness in this union, let there always be bliss. Allah will bless your home with light, your heart with never-ending